My name is Jordan Lockhart. I use she, her pronouns, and I am graduating this year with honors Bachelor of Arts degrees in history and secondary social studies education. I'm also working towards minors in political science and global development studies and my ESOL endorsement for education as well. My student teaching is at McKay High School up in Salem, Oregon. So I have a little bit of a commute, but it's all worth it for the teacher that I was placed with, my cooperating teacher, my CT. He's actually the one that I specifically requested to work with. I met him last year at one point because he was the CT for a previous student teacher. So I'd met him before and knew how he was as a CT, and what I wanted was somebody who was going to really push me in the classroom and throw me in a little bit with support, but throw me in from the beginning, and he definitely did that. So over the course of my day, I see all of the high school grades. We have 9th graders for advisory, 10th graders for US social studies, 11th graders for personal finance, and then 12th graders actually for credit recovery before they graduate. So my typical day of student teaching can look like a couple different things. Right now, there's one type of day where I go in the morning, we start with department meetings bright and early at 7:30 a.m., and then I get about a half day of teaching. After World War II, Japan is kicked out of Vietnam, right? The US sends the atomic bombs, Japan surrenders, they're kicked out of Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh is the leader of the Viet Minh, so the people who are resisting the French occupation. So as soon as the other bad guys out of there, Japan's out, they refocus. And it's led to what we sometimes call the First Indochina War. And then the other day, which is my favorite kind of student teaching day, is where I get to be there all day with my CT during contract hours, so 8 to 4 in the afternoon. And I get to see all of the different periods, stay for lunch, see what's going on at school as well, not just in the classes. There's sometimes assemblies or things happening at lunch that I get to see. And then coming home at the end of the long day with the long drive, but it's nice. And then I still try to find time in the evenings to not be a student teacher and just be a college student. So spending time with friends and watching movies and hanging out as much as my social battery can allow at the end of the day. So one of the biggest ways that my CT has really been able to mentor me is that he is really explicit about inviting me to absolutely everything that he has as a teacher. So I get to see what goes on, not just in the classroom, but he's also a coach. So I get a lot of information on what goes into that, but also he's on a safety committee and he has all these different hats that teachers have to wear. And I always get invited to meetings and he lets me look through notes. And so it's been really great to see not just the more official, this is what a teacher does in the classroom, but here's all the other things that being a teacher entails that have been really new for me this year. I would have never admitted this before this year, but I was really scared that I was going to get into a classroom and go, oh my gosh, I spent the last 4 years prepping for this, and this is not what I want to be doing. I wanted to be doing this idea of teaching that I had in my head. So the absolute best part has been feeling like I was right, and this is what I want to be doing, and I'm really excited to keep going. Student teaching has taught me a lot of things, even over the past few months, but one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that every single person that's in a school is there for a reason and has a perspective and a view that is important to listen to. In my current experience, it's been really nice as somebody who's new and young and doesn't really know a lot to still be asked questions and asked my opinion on things. Remembering as I'm getting into my teaching career what it felt like to be the young new person who was still listened to and to ask everybody their thoughts and opinions and what they're seeing and what they're not seeing is something that I definitely want to keep from this year. I am really glad that I took my time and did my research and found a department that was going to encourage me like this, and I think I'm getting a lot out of student teaching because of them.